adjacent to it from the Pac-12, but in a sense it mirrors the NCAA tournament weekend.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, you have to be ready to go. You got to be smart with your preparation, the day in between, and then you're in usually a hostile environment, and it's certainly a challenge. And again, we're in some important games, so I think it's a healthy challenge, and that's what it is. And again, to have them all on the road, you got to travel, you got to get there, and then lock in and be ready to play. And we'll go against obviously a talented Syracuse team that is with their zone. There's have been one of the best zone teams in recent years in the game. So the ability to play that way and an important game for them too.
Coach, you obviously mentioned the 2-3 zone that Syracuse plays. Before you get to Charlotte, you've got some games obviously ahead of you, but what do you want to see Monday night against that 2-3 zone, considering you guys have played against zone a lot this season?
Yeah, I don't know if we've played against the Syracuse zone. I mean, Pitt tried to do some of that, but it's with their length, and they're so good at it, their anticipation. You're going to have to, again, we've talked about it, you're going to have to be able to knock down some shots, get on the glass, get the ball in the right spots, take care of the ball, and play the heck out of the defense. That formula hasn't changed, and then they're certainly capable. They've turned some games this year, and they'll go down the floor and press because they're so good that way. With again their zone slides and anticipation, so it really challenges you. And again, on the short turnaround, that's the challenge and the opportunity that you have.
Tony, Pitt's personnel is obviously a little bit different, but what are some of the biggest differences that you noticed between the team that you faced last season and the one you faced today?
It's hard. I was locked in. I think they were both young. Both are terrific coaches. Coach Stallings, he's one of the best in the game. Coach Capel, he's a heck of a coach. I think he's got those guys. Those are. When you play that many young guys, you're up and down. They're aggressive and athletic. You can feel that, maybe a little more than last year's team. And again, they're maybe more four guards. I don't know if they played as much four guards, so they're a little more four-out oriented, and they play Audici. Tony, Audici and McGowan's were supposed to be either in prep school. They decided to come out, so they're really young. So they're getting invaluable experience. And, Xavier Johnson's having a heck of a first-year freshman campaign. We did the job on them today, or they did. I didn't do a thing. I just sat there and watched and applauded. So, so I thought that was hard for them when we took away their key scorer.
Tony, Kihei's minutes have gone up and Jack's minutes have gone down a little bit here in the last couple games. Is there a direct correlation there at all?
No, Jack, his back was bothering him, and I started him, and he's having a little trouble. And I just, I want him to be as healthy because he gives us such a physical presence. And I could just tell by the way he was moving in the second half, if we didn't need to, I didn't want to use him to hopefully let that go. And then Kihei's been playing well. But as far as that correlation, not so much.
Coach, speaking of backs, Ty Jerome obviously had that earlier in the season. He seems to be really fluid, especially around the rim. Is that because he's starting to get that in gear loosened up a little bit?
Yeah, I hope his back is feeling better. He seems to be moving better, and he's been doing a good job of attacking the paint. And Ty's big, he's 6'5", and, he knows how to use he doesn't out-jump you, but he uses his body, he uses his footwork and, off hands, different feet to get shots off. And last two games he's been really good in that. And that, again, if you get in those spots against Syracuse, it's a challenge, but you got to be able to finish some of those and rebound against that zone.
DeAndre threw that big pass to Braxton Key across the court. What do you like about seeing them on the court together at the same time?
Yeah, well, they allow you at times to be interchangeable. If there's a ball screen, they can switch it. They both, can go up and rebound and, again, defend multiple positions. They're kind of that 4-3, 3-4 type the way it is. So, again, I'm trying to remember. I can't remember the pass. Is it – well, I'm sure it was a good play if you remember it. So, but I like them. That they're interchangeable.
Okay, last one.
Yeah, Tony, going back to Kihei for a minute, he just looks so much more comfortable looking for his shot in the offense. Have you or your assistants had a conversation with him instructing him when to look for it and when he should be moving the ball?
I think with his quickness, you never want to take a guy that's aggressive at touching the paint. Take that away. It's just, I feel like a broken record, but finding that balance of being assertive without being out of control. And I think he's so quick, and he's worked a little bit on getting the ball on the glass a little quicker, getting it out of his hands quicker. A couple games back, a few games they were blocking some of his shots, and I thought he's now worked on that, and it's a little quicker. And you want him to do that and then make the right plays. And he knocked down a couple threes the other game, but he's got a good pace, and it fits well with the way we're playing right now and the personnel on the floor.